You are not unhappy because of your circumstances. You are unhappy because you are not doing what you are built to do. A Greek philosopher who died 2,300 years ago identified this with more precision than any therapist, self-help book, or productivity system produced since. His name was Aristotle, and the idea he published in 350 BC is the most practical philosophy of happiness ever written. Here is the first thing he said that nobody tells you. Happiness is not a feeling. Read that again. Everything you have been sold, every app, every routine, every supplement, every mindset hack is designed around the idea that happiness is a state you get into. Aristotle said, that is the wrong model entirely. Happiness is not something you feel. It is something you do. He called it eudaimonia, usually translated as happiness, but the real meaning is closer to flourishing, living well, being fully what you are capable of being. And the difference between happiness as a feeling and happiness as an activity changes everything about how you should be living. If happiness is a feeling, you chase it. You consume things that produce it. You optimize your environment to sustain it. If happiness is an activity, you build it through what you do every day, through what you practice, through what you actually become. Aristotle asked a question nobody asks. What is a human being for? Not what do you want, not what makes you comfortable. What is the specific function, the specific excellence that a human being is capable of? He looked at everything in the world this way. A knife is excellent when it cuts well. An eye is excellent when it sees clearly. A musician is excellent when they play beautifully. What is a human being excellent at when they are being fully human? His answer, reason, virtue, action. Not feeling good, doing good. And here is where it hits you personally. You already know what you are built to do. Not perfectly, not with complete clarity, but somewhere beneath the scroll and the noise and the optimization, you know. The thing you do where time disappears, the work that does not feel like work, the version of yourself that shows up when you are doing something that actually matters. Aristotle would say, that is not a clue about your passion. That is a clue about your nature. And a life spent away from your nature, no matter how comfortable, is a life in which flourishing is impossible. Now, here is where Aristotle says something that nobody in the happiness industry will tell you. Happiness requires excellence, not perfection, not achievement. Excellence. The consistent effort to do the thing you are doing, as well as you are capable of doing it. He called these virtues, not moral rules handed down from above, not a list of things you must do to be a good person. Virtues are skills, practiced, habituated, built over time. Courage is not a personality trait. It is something you develop by doing courageous things repeatedly until it becomes who you are. Generosity is not a feeling. It is a practice. Wisdom is not an insight. It is a habit of thinking carefully, applied consistently, across years. And this matters because you are not born into who you are. You practice into who you are. Every day, the choices you make, the actions you take or avoid, the things you practice or neglect, are building a person, The question Aristotle is asking is whether the person being built is the one you would choose. He also said something that sounds obvious, but lands differently when you actually hear it. One day of virtue does not make a flourishing life, just as one swallow does not make a summer. The productivity content you consume, the 5-day challenge, the intense 2-week reset, the month of perfect habits. Aristotle would call these entertainment. Not because effort is pointless, but because eudaimonia, real flourishing, is the work of a lifetime. Not a season, not a phase, not a biohacking protocol. A life lived consistently in the direction of what you are actually built for. And here is the last thing, the thing that separates Aristotle from every modern happiness framework. He said, you cannot flourish alone. Not because you need other people to feel good, because virtue, excellence, can only be expressed in relation to others. Courage without something at stake is not courage. Generosity without someone to give to is not generosity. Justice without a community is not justice. The optimization culture tells you, build your perfect life, your perfect routine, your perfect solitary system. Aristotle says, a person who needs nobody is either a god or a beast, not a human being living well. So what does he actually want from you? Stop asking how to feel better. Start asking what you are for. What specific excellence is available to you that you are not practicing? What version of yourself are you building or failing to build with the choices you make every single day? Aristotle is not asking you to be happy. He is asking you to be excellent. And he is telling you that if you do that consistently across a life, the happiness is not something you chase. It is something that follows. This is Philochemy. We will see you in the next one.